Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Shadowbox Flush Mount Indoor-Outdoor Fixture. This is the 363100. This is the smaller of the two. Check it out, and also check out the video on the larger one too. There's also some beautiful sconces that go with all of these things, so check those out. Those are going to be both in our interior section for sconces on our site, and all of them are going to be on the exterior sconce or exterior fixtures, lighting fixtures page, so check them out if you can. 12 inches by 12 inches, only coming down 4 inches from the ceiling. It is very flush, so doors can get under it and go in all kinds of great places like porches that are kind of on the lower side so you don't run into them. You can also use this indoors, don't forget, in hallways and foyers and kitchens, because it's going to provide quite a bit of light. It's also slope ceiling adaptable, so that's something you might want to think about. A lot of people don't think about those kind of things with flush mounts, but this is a place where if you have a slope and you just don't have the room to hang something down, you can put this on the slope without a problem. I want to show you a little more information about all that, and how we do it is we're going to look at the installations instructions. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. Open it up. It's going to show you a full parts list. It's going to show you pictures of that opal glass, which I'll talk more about later. That's your glass shade. It's an opaque piece of glass here. You're not going to see your sockets. It's going to show you detailed drawings of the back plate and the top of this and how it's going to go on your 4-inch junction box. So take advantage of those. There's some really nice drawings there if you can. You're also going to notice there's going to be a plate that's inset into that frame on the canopy. And when you have your pull-down menus, you're going to see there's going to be two. One is going to be choose your fixture finish. That's going to be the overall one. The plate that's up there is going to be called the accent, and you're going to be able to see through that fixture frame at that accent, right? So that's going to be your second one where it says choose your accent. So you'll be able to do them all in the same finish. You could do contrasting finishes, but I think that would be much prettier, but it's totally up to you how you go about doing all that. Okay, moving on. When we talk about what's going on as far as sockets go, you got two of these medium base sockets in there. Going to be taking just a medium base bulb. The bulbs that are going to be going into this are going to be LEDs, and because you're not going to be using incandescents anymore for the most part, they're just so hard to get. Hubbardton knows that these are going to be easier to get, so they're kind of moving forward in time. A15 is the light bulb you're going to be using. Two of them, don't forget, and they're easy to get because they're used in all kinds of things all over the place. So they're used in garage door openers, they're used in fans up in the ceiling fans. These are used in refrigerators, so you should be able to find them at Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, True Value hardware stores. You should be able to find these even in your grocery store, because I can find these in my grocery store in Vermont. You're going to be using two 7-watt versions of this, okay? So two 7-watt versions is going to give you the light of two 60-watt equivalent light bulbs, the incandescent of your past. So it tells you how much light can come out of this, which is quite a bit. So don't be afraid that it's not going to provide a lot of light. So we talk about the color of the light coming out of these in every single video. These are going to be offered to you in a couple different ways. 3 different ways actually, maybe a little more than that if they could chop it up more. But anyway, 2700 Kelvin, that's going to be super yellow. They're going to offer these to you in something called daylight, and I talk about that in every video all the time. Daylight does not mean it's a warm light. That's going to be that blue-white light like a hospital waiting room or a cold, overcast day in Vermont like in March, like now. Anyway, but what we like to use is warm white, soft white. That's the nice light coming down on my hands, just like this. That's at middle of the road, so it looks like an incandescent glow. Most people who walk in here can't even tell that we're using LEDs. They think it's all incandescents because it looks so good. And that's going to be 3000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. It's also a dimmable fixture, so if you guys want to use this on a dimmer in places like an outdoor porch, maybe on a patio that you're going to be underneath it, and at night you want to dim this down so you guys can just kind of sit out there in a nice warm glow and drink wine or coffee, then make sure you buy a dimmable version of it, of the bulb, that is. There you go. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear, then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this. The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Hubbardton Forge only uses aircraft-grade aluminum to make their outdoor fixtures. Aluminum holds up the best in incredibly harsh environments. When you're out and you look up in the sky and you see all those jet airliners running around up there, those are all made out of aluminum for a reason. And part of that reason is it holds up great, like I said. It also forges beautifully. It holds finish beautifully. It doesn't rust. Remember that. It's very important. And they're virtually indestructible when they're all finished. So how Hubbardton does it is they take the fixture itself, they're going to wire it up at the top, they're going to put a wire at the bottom, they're going to send a current of electricity that's going to go through this fixture, making it positive, and they put it into a spray booth with a picture of the woman next to me. You can see she's spraying finish around it, and because it's positive, it's going to adhere to every nook, every cranny, the top, the bottom, the whole thing. After that, they're going to take this and they're going to move it into an oven. That oven is going to melt all of that down and create a very hard shell. So it makes it, again, virtually indestructible. So they've also tested these things in these wind chambers. So they take the fixture, all covered in that epoxy powder coat. It's going to go into that chamber. They're going to shoot salty seawater at it at high velocity for hours and hours and hours, just like you were at the beach and you have like a hurricane coming in, which to me is going to be pretty much the worst environment you're going to run into. So after they tested these and found out that they hold up incredibly well, Hubbardton Forge offers basically the best warranty in the lighting industry. And you can see that on the page for this. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's a link, and click on that and it'll show you the entire warranty and how it all works. Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a what's on display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.